to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again into Saturday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the War Room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And I am not alone today. Today, we got us the Cajun Cowboy. He's back.
I got my GPS working, man.
The Cajun Cowboy is back. We have missed you.
It's been a while.
Everyone has missed you. They're asking about you all the time.
Really? I ain't never heard that.
Where is the Cajun
Nobody told me
Cowboy?
that.
Where is he? I said he'll be back. We lost him. He's been busy at work.
Actually, anyway, never mind.
I had
some family dramas.
Yeah, I started giving the excuse that you were busy at work because it was year end, and then next thing you know,
I was busy at work.
But then next thing you know, we're into March.
Well,
like, where has he been?
Okay, I'll say depressing news on your podcast and not mine.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's had several people ill, bad in my family, and that took up. It was touch and go for a couple of weeks, so I got way behind.
Gotcha.
And didn't have the mindset. I'm going to try and get one out tomorrow, but didn't have the mindset and was worried about all that. And, so.
What podcast are you going to try to get out, sir? It's been a while. They might have forgotten. They might have forgotten.
Yeah, the Forgotten American.
The Forgotten American?
No, just Forgotten American.
Oh,
yeah, I do that too. It's like I got some sound clips with people promoting it.
Yeah,
and I was afraid. I had one guy do it. The Forgotten. No, not the.
It's Forgotten.
Yeah.
Forget the.
I started to do the, and somebody told me, Facebook used to be called the Facebook. And
gotcha.
They just drop all that because nobody calls it that. I'm like, good point. But you shouldn't have two words probably. So anyway, enough about that. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm back.
Well, you can find that on Spotify. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it anywhere you can find a podcast.
Yeah, whenever one goes out.
You'll get one. You save it up, and then you got just a bunch of stuff to talk about, man.
It's old news by now. I had like 3 sheets of notes I had to throw away. So I'll probably do one tomorrow.
Okay.
Try and get one out. And
give me one I can listen to on my run on Monday morning.
Try and get on a regular schedule. Unfortunately, I had some stuff that was unavoidable. And then that pushed me way behind at work. So I only did one for February. It was bad.
Lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff to get on the air now. But hey, I want to jump in here and say that I am running YouTube Live right now.
Sweet.
And so if you comment, I'm not going to type a response, but we will read it. We'll make sure we acknowledge it and read it and answer it.
You just invited the trolls.
One day I got a bunch of trolls, and I was like trying to do a podcast. I'm like deleting things. But
we may recognize the comment.
It is what it is.
Yeah, okay.
So good. The good shooting weather is almost here.
Yeah, you told me bring some canics, and I'm like, man, it was 30-mile-per-hour winds. You couldn't see nothing. I got out here, and it was nice and calm and cool.
When we scheduled the shooting time before the podcast, it was 60 degrees and no wind.
Yeah, I know. I even sent you a text. Are you sure somebody's going to shoot and all this? And by the time I got out here, it was nice and calm.
It was, but it was blowing like crazy earlier. But, yeah, that's that. My women's group class.
Okay.
So I have that every Thursday evening. I've mentioned on here more than once. And I want to talk about my last class. We didn't do any shooting. What we did is we stayed in the classroom and we talked about defensive mindset. We talked about defensive mindset and kind of what your responsibilities are when you carry a firearm and how you need to be prepared to use it. We talked about the different Colonel Cooper's color codes. We talked about what are you doing?
Man, it's easy being on this side of the mic, man.
We talked about all kinds of good stuff, and those women just laughed. Colonel Cooper's color codes.
Okay,
color codes of awareness: white, orange, yellow, red. White, yellow, orange, red. I forget the orders, but I taught it. So
Okay, so what are the levels of awareness? I'm curious.
we have you have level white.
I'm not familiar with Colonel Cooper.
Really?
Well,
So we have level white.
Okay.
Level white is you're just going throughout your everyday life, around town, around your house, around whatever, and there's no situational awareness there.
okay.
Okay, and then I think it goes to, dang it, I don't have it in front of me.
I put you on the spot.
I get yellow and orange confused. We're going to say orange.
Okay. Orange is
No,
darker,
yellow.
so probably yellow.
It's yellow. Okay, and then it's yellow. Yellow is you are out and about, you are doing your thing, but you're aware of your surroundings. You're aware of what's going on, right?
Okay.
And then you have orange, which means you're out and about, and you notice that there's something off. There's
With your hand on your firearm.
not quite. This is when you need to start formulating that plan. So it could lead to that. And you're aware that there's something off, and can I try to avoid it? And maybe I should try and avoid it. And then you got level red. You are in it. You can't avoid it. You can't step around it. It's there. It's coming at you. How do you react? What are you going to do? And we just talked about how you need to be aware of what's going on, how you need to try to avoid the confrontation if at all possible. And then we talked about the OODA loop. We've talked about the OODA loop on here before. Observe, orient, decide, and act. And it's the process that your brain goes through when you're whenever you're trying to make a decision. And stuff happens really, really super fast, right?
Right.
The bad guy's going through the same thing. You observe there's something going on. You orient yourself. You decide what you're going to do, and then you act. And this happens like fast. I think when you say that, people are thinking, oh, I got a couple minutes here, observe it, orientate myself to it, decide what I'm going to do, and then act upon it. It doesn't happen like that. Not when there's some psycho running at you with a knife. Right. Yeah, it's just the decision-making process that your body goes through, that your brain goes through. So we talked about that. Great class. Looking forward to getting them out on the range here in a couple of weeks. We're just looking for that time change. They meet at 6, and it's so close to being dark. By the time I get them all out there, it's just going to be too dark to shoot. But we're looking for that time change. She's coming up in a couple weeks. A week.
Is it?
Yes.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Summer's
ahead.
here.
Springing ahead. So,
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. But the next class that they're going to go through, I get to get all geared up and put on my little red padded helmet, put on my cup, and it's open hand combat.
Okay.
And I got a guy coming to teach them how to create distance, right? We're not talking like super martial arts stuff. This is kind of up your alley a little bit, but just mostly how to create distance, right? How to, stun someone or whatever. And they're going to get a beat up on me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm hoping that they all like me. And
they're paying you to do this.
They're paying me to do this.
Okay. That's good, man. A lot of guys pay for that.
It's that special class. It's a Patriot Defense After Hours.
Now, when you might want to delete that. Now, when you were doing your situational awareness, did you have your new toys in play?
I have not yet, because today has actually been the first day I was actually able to get out here and use it. And we're talking about, I did mention it on the podcast last week, but I invested in a shooting simulator.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And I wanted to just get some time behind it and figure out how to implement. So I know it's going to do good. I know it's going to help a lot of people, but it's how do I implement it, right? How do I implement that in a class or in training? So now that I have a little bit, I'll play with it for the next few days. Then I'll probably slowly start to implement that in my women's class. They're going to be like my test group.
Okay.
So I figured, I've got 14, 15 people, women in each class. Okay. So I figured what we do on the nights when I go out and shooting, I'd have someone else here helping me, right? And I'd take them in and, that's odd.
Yeah. I was like, don't look. And you looked and got distracted.
Yeah, I got distracted. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a helper, and as they're out shooting, I'll pull a couple of them inside. That way there's not like 15 people in there. We're trying to do this. It's going to be a little chaos. But what is your overall thoughts about that thing? It's a little gamey. Some of it's a little gamey. I get it.
I like it. When I first grabbed it, it was the double tap drill, and I didn't even try to squeeze the trigger. I didn't even dry fire it or anything. Well, dry fire, that's all it is. But I didn't do anything, and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
And after I picked it up and played with it a little bit, and we did the targets, the time targets, I like it. It was It's got a lot of flexibility in what you can do, and I think because it's a little gamey, you'll do a lot more practice than you would any other time.
Yeah, and I think
there's no ammo involved.
Yeah, and that's great. And I think it's going to teach trigger press, trigger control. It's going to teach trigger reset. It's going to you can draw from a holster and do this. It's going to train your reaction time, and it's like a lot of hand-eye coordination stuff going on there with a lot of moving targets. And it's going to teach you how to track targets. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that you're going to learn that is going to be useful when you go out and do live fire on the range. I mean, there really is. And then the VST portion of it is the actual video, like scenario type training. I think what that's going to teach is a lot of decision making, a lot of let's figure out what's going on and not just shoot someone because they're there. I came here to shoot somebody. Yeah. Type of scenario.
Somebody got to get a shot.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's me and my boys were playing with it earlier. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, once you accommodate for the trigger and everything, get a little feel for it. Yeah, I can see where you can spend a lot of time out there.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's so many different little training scenarios too.
Oh, and there's the ones that it comes with. There's like 68 of them, and then I can make my own.
Well, you got that tracking one.
Yeah.
On full speed. If they're running away that fast,
yeah, exactly.
Don't shoot them.
Well, and I was running through some of the VST, some of the actual, virtual like training stuff with the videos of the real people, the shoot don't shoot type stuff, and my son was sitting there, and he's able to, with just a press of a key, he can
change the scenario.
Yeah, manipulate the whole scenario. So now, if it looks like I'm going to engage someone, he could hit a button and have him turn around and leave.
Now, the only one I saw was a third-person shooter,
right?
But you got them in first-person shooters.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, for sure. So I don't know, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've only gone through like 4 of those. There's like 68 of them.
I agree.
Yeah, and like I said before, the cool part is you can actually make your own. You can record your own with your cell phone. You can record it. You can record multiple endings and just plug them all into the program, and it does the rest.
That is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It is really cool. I think as a podcast crew, I think we all need to get together. We need to get together and make one.
People shooting us.
You can use the grenade.
I'm taking you with me. But the goal will be to shoot the grenade out of my hand.
Ooh. There you go. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see how that works.
If we making a movie. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I'm just getting this pulled up here.
All right.
But so one of these days we'll play more with that. So
yeah, I can see. I can see spending some time in there doing it. I mean, it is a little gamey, so it's fun, and it's
cheap. Well, there's no ammo involved.
Yeah,
a little bit of propane.
A little bit of propane.
I don't notice it anymore.
It was strong to me.
It smells like rotten eggs. Okay, so let's talk about this. Something big that's been going on around here anyhow is in Idaho, I'm sure it's catching on everywhere else, I would imagine. But in Idaho, there's a big movement for the cities in different counties to become sanctuary cities or sanctuary counties, second A sanctuary cities, second A sanctuary counties. And our county has done it.
Okay, good.
Our county signed. I mean, I didn't make it to that meeting because I had a sick child and I had to be home. But we took it to the county commissioners. We talked to them. We had lots of meetings with them. And I tell you what, they went there and it was voted on. They took comments and everything in their meeting. It was voted on unanimously, and every one of our county level elected officials signed it.
Good. And
what it said, I don't have it in front of me right here, but it essentially, all it did is they took out the sanctuary part of it. Kind of figured the sanctuary thing kind of has had some not so nice connotations, negative publicity. So they called it a Second Amendment resolution.
Okay.
A resolution type thing. And it went down all your rights. And it hit your Second Amendment, which it focused on a little bit more, but they just restated all your rights, and they said, anything that is, legal by the Constitution, handgun, we will not enforce any unconstitutional handgun laws, firearm laws, magazine bans, ammo bans, anything like that. absolutely fantastic. And then they all signed it, including the sheriff.
Good.
So that's
He has a more important role than a lot of them do. I mean,
oh yeah,
there's a force in enforcement, and if you're willing to say this ain't happening here, I mean, the only thing that bothers me is it's great that people are saying we're not going to be part of this,
right?
And I like that. You actually had some National Guard in Katrina that said we're not going to be a part of taking guns,
right?
So instead of taking the guns, they walked as backup for the police who took the guns. So it was the exact same damn thing.
Right.
So not only good that you won't be a part of it, are you willing to stop it from happening?
That's what we're going to find out. So let me get to the city, and then we're going to go to...
This is where secession starts going. This is where if states start saying, you're not having that here, cities, counties start saying, not here, and are willing to stand up for it, you can neuter what the federal government wants to do. It's like, you got no say here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So let's go. I want to talk about what our city is doing, and then we're going to jump into the state, because the state is also kind of like is trying to reinforce this as well, and it actually looks like what they want to do is actually starting to gain a lot of traction now at the state level, which is pretty amazing, actually.
Has Brad Little made a comment on it?
No, we don't care about Brad Little. We should.
As long as we can override him, we don't care. We need to get rid of him. Anyway.
So the Twin Falls, we showed up to a meeting last Monday, and it was pretty positive, right? They didn't all of a sudden turn around and bam, do it like the county did. But it was pretty positive. They all voted unanimously that they do like it. They like the idea of it, and they wanted to just have their city attorney look into a couple things before, and do some clarifications on it before they get to it, and then they're going to revisit it like on the 15th, right? But I want to commend all the citizens that showed up for that, the comments that were made, and everything. I mean, the citizens, we had people there that were probably concealed carrying, but we didn't have anyone open carrying. We didn't have anyone causing any problems. We had no one that was nasty, and I think that was recognized by the Twin Falls City Council, and I think they did appreciate that. Now, the attorney has looked at the one for the county, right? Okay. And he's on board. In fact, that gentleman came out and took some classes and stuff from me. He's
talking about the district attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so him and the city attorney, I guess they kind of work, hand in hand, but he's okay with it. I'm sure this other guy is going to be okay with it, and it's feeling pretty positive. So we'll see how it moves going forward. But there is one thing that I want to mention, something that I noticed that we talked about on the radio show. And I didn't want to be petty, okay? I don't want to be petty, but I think it's important to know. So we go around and we preach small business, right? Firearms owners are great for if they're going to go to a private business and there's a sign there that says, "We don't want your firearms in here." What do they usually say?
What, firearms owners? Okay, you don't get my business.
You don't get my business, right? Why don't you get my business? Because you won't uphold my Second Amendment rights, right? Yeah. Isn't that what we say as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay, when I went to all these city meetings, when I went to the county meetings, okay, I looked around, and there was me and one other guy who owns a gun store in this area in the county. We were the only firearms business type people there. We had citizens show up. No other firearms stores were there. And I'll give the corporate guys, the big stores, I'll give them a pass because sometimes that's not allowed by, whatever. But there's plenty of small businesses, small gun stores, small gun shops. There's even other trainers in this town and other instructors in this town, right? Nobody showed up. Absolutely. They weren't there. They didn't say anything. They didn't make their presence known. They haven't commented on it. They didn't even share videos on Facebook.
I was thinking, say, it's possible that they had, like you couldn't make one because you sick child.
But they never,
stuff that happens, but they should at least comment on it.
They never even recognize it. Share a video, right? Share something on Facebook. So what I want to say is think about where you spend your money. This seems a little kind of petty, but I've thought about it for about a week now. Think about where you spend your money, because someone simply puts up a sign and you don't spend your money there.
Right.
Right? These people they're literally not showing up. They're not helping you. We just needed numbers there, right? No one, as far as we know, they never even showed up to a rally. There was numerous dates and numerous occasions these people could sign up. And these are the same stores that tout, I'm veteran owned. I spent this many years in the military and I've done this and that and I do this and I do that and come give me your money because I served in the military. They don't care now. I mean, that's what I see. And maybe I shouldn't say this, but I mean, it just irritates me to all heck. I mean, show up.
Yeah.
Show up, be there. I'm not saying you have to get involved.
Well, this is when it's easy. This is when it's still easy.
Yeah.
We're not even, everybody, you hear the stuff. You hear the people online, what they're going to do and what they're not going to tolerate. And it's like, right now it's easy. Right now it's, I have a bit of a pet peeve, and I'm going to go off on just a second.
Oh, go for it.
I am sick of politicians that I have to call and ask them to follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
I'm sick of asking them and pleading and begging them, please follow the Constitution. Please do what you're supposed to do. Please. I'm sick of that. If you have to do that, get them out. But at the same time, right now, this is the easy part where you show up, make your voice heard. Unfortunately, if you had great representation,
you wouldn't have to do that.
You wouldn't have to do that. Right now, we obviously still have to do that.
Yes.
So if you can do that, this is when it's easy. If you can't do that, you ain't going to do nothing when it's harder either.
Those same people that didn't show up, though, will sit there and gouge you on ammo and sell you all the firearms in the world for you to go for you to go and meet at City Park to start the Civil War at 10:01 Thursday morning. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
They'll do that, right?
Yeah.
And they're making lots of money off the ammo sales. They're making lots of money off the firearm sales and the big boon in the industry right now. But they won't show up. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I do want to go down that road, but damn it, I want to go down that road. I really, and I'm fixing to actually make a Facebook Live video. Throw it out there because it's the truth. Support those who support you. Support those who are in the fight with you. I mean, that makes 100% sense.
I understand.
So let's talk about, I'm going to pull this up here. Oh, real quick though. The city of, should I say it? Yes, the city of Buell.
Okay.
The one that I'm close to.
All right.
Hiding in the bunker in the high desert somewhere in southern Idaho. They actually are moving forward. And if you are listening to this, we are the gentleman who has actually kind of spearheaded the Second Amendment sanctuary type movement here locally. They're going to have a meeting. They're having a meeting at this Monday at 7 p.m. at City Hall. It's the city. It's the city council meeting.
I think a lot now. I was going to give a little more. I think a lot of people, I don't know when all this stuff is taking place, right. But if that's your business, you should be in on it. You should
know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
sorry.
You should know. It's okay.
Back to you.
We're going to go meet at the city council, and the last meeting that they had, I was actually out of town, but they said that that was the largest record turnout the city of Buell has ever had at a city council meeting. So if you're in the area, show up, 7 o'clock, show up. I'm going to jump up. I'm going to go there and I'm going to try to jump up and voice my opinion and make some comments. That's where I'm going. So if you're in the area, even if you don't live in this town and you come through this town, show up, man. Numbers. That's what we need. We need numbers. I tell you what,
the talk is over. Gun control laws or regulations are coming. They're coming.
Oh yeah.
That's why they're dumping so many out there right now. They have, I don't even know how many House bills they have, and it's sailing them through the House. They just passed H.R. 1, which is outrageously unconstitutional, and it's going to go to the Senate. This stuff is going to get through.
Oh yeah.
And if they can get nothing through, which would be a miracle, the administrative state's going to do it. The ATF, those guys. You're going to have stuff coming, so you need to start on a local level and get your city, your county, your state to
shore up the forces.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and find out who's going to be on your side.
Tell FedGov, go pound sand.
Who helped get this enacted? Who helped do this? Who showed up to the meetings? I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying. And, oh, there it is, pulling up right here. I don't want to sign up for the weekly email. So let me throw this out there. I talked about this before, but it's nice to keep track on it. So it's called the Idaho Small Arms Protection Act. Okay, it was introduced to the state level to the Idaho House. It's a new bill to protect Idahoans' small arms and to prepare the state for future court battles, according to the bill sponsor. It's RS 28769, no bill number quite yet. It was introduced by Christy Zito. Let's see. It was drawn up with the help of Alexandria Kincaid, which is a big Second Amendment attorney up there. So she got all the wording and got everything together. And I'm looking here. The threat of gun control from this White House and members of Congress require that Idaho's legislature do everything in its power to defend the state of Idaho and the thousands of gun owners who are concerned about their most precious right of self-defense. And what this bill does, actually, is it protects all your small arms and your ammo and everything. But what it does is also takes the liability off of your local leaders and your local law enforcement when they go and try to stop the feds from doing something. It tries to free them up and allows them to be able to go and do it without stuff coming down on them, which is kind of a good idea.
Yeah, well, the more you
free them up, I didn't mean to interrupt, but the more you free them up, if they still won't do anything, you need to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hitting the fan. It's kind of late in the game.
It is.
But push the people that you have.
Yeah. So it's... But and I see a lot of people on Facebook.
This is where this is passed. This is in committee. This is in the House.
It was introduced to the House. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like gaining no traction, and then all of a sudden it just started gaining traction, and it's moving now. So
good. I tell you what, Texas just opened up. Sorry.
You're good. Go for it.
Going down rabbit holes.
I like the rabbit holes because I don't have a whole lot today.
Texas just opened up. And they're touting how great Greg Abbott is and how he's doing so good. Right. You know why he did that? Because the state legislator was about to take his administrative emergency powers away from him. He didn't have no choice because the people got onto their House and their Senate,
right? And
they were going to take his power. So he's all of a sudden he's coming out and he's just dismissing it all. But he's still wanting to wait till Wednesday. He wanted to wait a week. I guess things are going to everything's different in a week. I don't know, but that's how that happened. I got nothing for the man, but that's how it worked. They started putting pressure on their reps,
right,
and their state senators, and they had the votes to strip him of emergency executive powers. So he come out and shot it down. This is how we can get this done.
Well, and I think, I don't know this for sure, but I'd like to think that maybe this wasn't gaining traction. Now this is gaining traction because you know what? For almost the last 4 weeks of the last month, you have city after city after city after county after county in Idaho declaring themselves a Second Amendment sanctuary or creating some right? Hagerman's done it. Hagerman's done it. I think Filer's working on something. Buell's working on something. The Twin Falls County did it. Twin Falls City is looking into it. They're in the midst of it. Glenn's Ferry has done it. Star Idaho's done it. Napa has done it. It's taken off, and I think they're seeing that this is not something to be messed with. These people this is important to people. And
it is.
Honestly, I think that's why this is moving forward like it is. And so be it. I see a lot of people on Facebook going, why do we need to do this? Idaho enacted something back in 2014, and we're a Second Amendment sanctuary state bill or something. We need all the different levels of protection and of getting people to restate that they are going to uphold and defend the Constitution all the way down to the Second Amendment. We need.
If nothing else, it's making a statement.
It is.
We got a Constitution that says we can have it. That's been here since the country's been here.
Well, right.
Nobody's paying attention to it.
Right. Well,
that's the Constitution.
And I think what you got going on
something
here,
we had in 2014.
Yeah.
Speak up.
Yeah, it's dead. So I think what we got going on here, I think we've talked about it before. Everyone's ready to go to war. Everyone's ready to meet at City Park at whatever, and they're ready to leave their families and put on their kit and their gear. This is like a pressure valve. This is like releasing the pressure valve a little bit, right? I've talked about on the radio show. We talked about here. There's a time and place for going to the cartridge box, but that's not necessarily.
That's what the federal government wants right now.
Yeah, that's what they want, and now's not the time, right? We need to look to our cities, our states, and we need to start and we need to start bolstering up protections and working our way up through it. And this is what we need to do. People need to pass, cities need to pass something like this, right? To keep that group of people that wants to go to war to go, okay, well they're recognizing that they're helping and they're on our side. You're gonna get some wacko. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, that's what they want right now. That's why they have the military around the Capitol.
And for the rest of the summer now, too, don't they?
They're never leaving.
Yeah.
They're never leaving. They know what they're doing. They know what's coming down the pike. They know what they're going to do to you, that there's going to be some people getting upset.
Yeah, that's scary that they want them there. It's like, what else are we doing here?
Well, that's why they keep hyping up the insurrection.
Yes.
What a joke. What a joke! They're trying to make hay out of that, and too many our Republican leaders are clowns. They're jokes. I mean, whatever narrative the Democrats set, everybody goes along with it. That's like right now, everybody's hooping and hollering about Dr. Seuss. I'm like, sorry for you, Dr. Seuss. We got more important issues right now. Don't get distracted. Don't get off into all this side stuff. Stay on target and don't use their talking points, because now it's in Washington, at least, it's accepted that this was a horrible insurrection, the worst day of American history. It was a joke, man. It was a joke.
And they called it an armed insurrection. Yeah, and they just came out like this week and said no firearms. There was no guns here.
Yeah, none. One lady got murdered, and that was by the cops. Yeah. The police that died,
the cop with their guns,
the next day. They won't release his autopsy. Ray just had a testify before Congress, and they said it's a little too early for us to say what killed him. Come on, man. His family come out and said he didn't get beat to death. Didn't happen.
Yeah,
I mean, if somebody actually does something, you give them just what they want. Now's not the time. Now's the time to use the process, the brilliance that the founders set up, where we can do it on a state and local level and push back. And this is where we start having separations.
Yep.
And, we're not going to go for this. And at some point, it puts everybody in a bind. Right now, the federal government's putting us in a bind. The more that we put up, we start putting the federal government in a bind. What are you going to do? Because then when you push back against us, other states are going to say, hey, we're next.
Yeah.
And it starts a division that we need. We need pushback from the lower levels instead of just top down.
Then we usher in a libertarian utopia. Every state.
A unicorn for everybody.
Free pony. Oh, I love being libertarian. So much fun. Oh shoot! But yeah, no, it starts at home. Definitely. I mean, this is. I'm glad to see this. I'm glad that people are jumping on this, and it's a pretty amazing thing. I was not at the Second Amendment rally, but they said they estimated between 600 and 750 people there, walking in and out at the rally.
Good grief!
Yeah, they said there was a bunch of people there. So I mean, I think it's great that people are doing this. People are kind of waking up. This is important to them. There was a story of a
if you let them disarm you, it's over. Yeah.
There was a story of a gentleman that lived clear across town.
Get on the boxcar.
He was a veteran. He's an older gentleman. I think he was like in a walker or something, and he wasn't sure exactly what time it started. I don't know if he had the internet, and he walked all the way over to the rally, and he got there like an hour early. And he sat there and he talked to some of the people setting up the rally, and he was there for the whole thing. It was only like 30 minutes long. Right. And, they arranged for him to get a ride back home because it was late, right? It was late. It was cold. It was dark. But, I mean, that was so important to that man to show up there, right? I mean, this should be important for everybody. I mean, I don't know. I can't even, I'm touched. No, it's an important thing, and I'm glad to see people are showing up. But I promised I'd touch on the comments there. James is quite active this evening on on the YouTube, and we appreciate that. James, I will get you the address to Buell City Hall. I'll just text it to you later on. I don't know what it is. It's in Buell. It's one City Hall. Buell's little. I'll get you an address.
Yeah, by the gas station.
Where all the people are. It's in the same building as you pay your water bill. The police are in. The fire department's in there. The DMV's in there.
Okay.
It's little. It's all in one. It's a one-stop fun house. So James he can comment on this. He texted me, asked me if I was going to be a part of No Ammo April.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I think I might be. I actually got quite a bit of ammo right now.
Yeah. I've been no ammo for, I don't know, 8 months, a year.
That's good. Well, hell, you find it underneath your tortilla warmer.
Yeah, well.
Tell them the story.
That's the whole story.
No, not for them.
Yeah. Well, it's the same 1,000 rounds I found last time.
Oh, okay.
I had some boxes in I get stuff shipped to me, and I'm like, I'll deal with it later, and I just stack up boxes, and I'm like, let's go through these boxes, and one was a tortilla warmer. I'm like, hey, cool, I got a tortilla warmer. I forgot to order in there. And the next one was 1,000 rounds of millimeter.
Tacos and ammo. That's sweet.
Yeah. So I can keep toasty. I forgot the
tortillas.
There you go. Thank you. And 9mm ammo.
It's enough to warm a gentleman's stomach and heart.
Yeah, I found more. I keep finding stuff.
Sweet. So so let's talk about the price gouging.
Okay.
I mean, so what
is this? No Ammo April, you said?
No Ammo April, I think, right?
Okay.
February, March, April, yeah.
Can you tell everybody what that's supposed to be?
So yeah, don't go out and buy ammo. That's what's going around. I don't know how James is the one that introduced it to me. So I don't know how big a movement this is. But it's
maybe James is just trying to get you to not buy ammo.
James. Right. He wants going to follow me around. He's going to go to all the places I used to go.
You'll see him with a truck loaded down.
More than likely. But no, it's to kind of try to fight back against some of the ammo gouging, the price gouging that's going on when it comes to ammo. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, we've talked about it before, and I know there's bigger stores, there's bigger buyers, and they tell me that their price on ammo has not gone up. Has not gone up, right? And you can go into their stores, and when you can find the ammo, you're still paying good price for it. Normal, regular, everyday price. But you go to some of these smaller businesses, and they're gouging the holy crap out of you. You go online, and they're gouging the holy crap out of you. So really, who's telling the truth here?
Nobody's going to sell. No business is going to sell ammo at a loss. So the guys who have the low prices are telling you the truth.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I mean, they're not just going to take a beating to see you smile.
Yeah, I will say. I will say this too, though. I think some of the smaller guys, I think wherever they're buying their ammo from, I think maybe they're paying more from it, so they're just passing the gouging on.
It possibly could be, yeah.
The gouging is just kind of rolling downhill or uphill or however you want to look at it, and we get it. I don't know. I mean, we've tried
I don't think everybody's being gouged, though. I mean, they're seeing this is what the market says they'll pay for it, so they're like, hey, cool.
We've tried to get people not to buy gas before, and that never works out.
No. And you dealing with...
Everyone quit buying fuel on Monday and Tuesday.
I'll tell you why. It's a noble idea.
It is noble.
When you had these old guys showing up buying all the 22 ammo at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah. Ain't gonna happen. Happen. They're gonna show up.
You're still gonna have the hoarders.
Yeah, they're gonna show up. And
I'm afraid what's gonna happen.
They have 2 firearms and 25 million rounds. I mean, come on, man. What are you gonna do?
I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have, and I'll try not to buy ammo. I need to save some money anyway. But
I just had. It went up a little bit, and I'm like, I'll wait for it to go back down. It did, and it went through the roof. Yeah, and I'm like, well, luckily.
You're gonna have guys that are not gonna buy ammo. And that's just going to leave more for all the hoarders to buy.
Yeah.
I mean...
And then they're going to gouge you.
And they're going to... So there's people out there, actually, and we read an article on here, I think me and Mark did. There's people out there that are actually making a living. They're driving across the country.
Yeah.
With enclosed trailers buying ammo and just like calling around whenever they're in the town trying to resell it to people. It's absolutely insane. So I'll give it a try. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll give it a try. My bank account will like that.
It's absolutely criminal. I mean, you got to understand where we are spiritually as a nation.
Yeah.
When COVID come out and they were telling everybody, you had videos of people dropping dead in the streets in China. Phony crap. And they said hydroxychloroquine is a cure. People were stockpiling that crap.
Oh, yeah.
When they thought you were going to die, they were stockpiling it and reselling it. They were getting it for, I don't know, 5 cents a pill and selling it for $2 a pill, $10 a pill. I mean, they were just outrageous.
It's a hell of a racket.
Yeah. So I understand the theory behind it, but yeah.
Okay, well, let's look at firearms now. Okay, let's look at firearms. So we've been buying firearms like mad for like the last couple years, year and a half, right? Just gone through the absolute roof. What do you? And I heard from someone who sells firearms, and he thinks, and I kind of agree with
breaking records by the month.
We are, but I think we're kind of hitting the threshold on sales of firearms.
Yeah.
I think we're going to hit a spot where I think it's going to go, the sales of firearms are going to go down a little bit because you're going to have so many firearms and you don't have ammo. I mean,
they did that with ARs during Obama. ARs you couldn't find one, and they were doubling and tripling in price.
Yeah.
And after that kind of calmed down, when Trump got in, the market they were just churning out these ARs, and you had ARs everywhere, and I'm like, nobody wants it.
So what do you think?
Everybody's got a couple.
What do you think is going to happen when you people get all their taxes back and their next stimulus? They're going to buy guns. They're going to buy ammo.
Ammo, if you can find it. I don't know. I mean, the whole gun thing, if you don't have ammo to go, which is good about some of the stuff you have the Sims rounds.
Yes.
To train people with. You have the new, what do you call it?
The shooting simulator.
The simulator, which is very cool.
It is very cool.
They can still get their training in and have fun and then go out and, take 20, 30, 50 rounds and shoot instead of spending a day training, spending 100 rounds where you're not enjoying it as much because you're focusing on training, and you can still have fun with the stuff. The less people are able to have fun and enjoy their toys, you stop buying toys.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
If you had a Lamborghini and no gas.
Well, I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty of guns I want right now, but
Really? What are you looking for?
I don't know.
I'm selling, man. I'm selling. I got all kinds of stuff.
Ooh.
I know. I need to quit selling. I always take a beating on it.
Are you selling the DB9?
I don't know that anybody would buy it.
Right here, you're looking at the possible buyer.
I got crazy ammo, man. I got 30-30 ammo. Nobody has 30-30 ammo.
I hate the DB9 so much, I'd buy that thing I'd buy it from you maybe. I want to master that gun.
I'd be afraid you'd take it out and bury it to where it wouldn't be found again.
No.
Destroy all the evidence.
Okay, well, we're going to talk. We're going to talk later.
All right.
I do got to quit spending money.
Oh, God, I've been going crazy lately.
I have to. I've spent a lot of freaking money lately. A lot. So I'm going to look at my notes here. I had something else I was going to ask you about.
I went and bought a car. I don't even drive. I have a work truck. I don't know. It was a good deal, so I bought it.
Hey, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm telling you, I'm spending money like crazy.
It's your bug out vehicle.
No.
No,
it's good on gas. I'm like, take that, Biden. All right. What?
I just remembered what I was going to talk about. Did you see the look on my face? It's like, yeah, I remember. Okay, so now I've got 2 red dots.
Okay.
I've got 2 VP9s.
Wait, hold up. What red dot you got now? I just knew you had one.
Oh, no. I bought the Burris Fast Fire.
Right.
And then I went ahead and I still couldn't find any adapter plates for it. So I went ahead and bought a Holosun.
Oh, man.
507C, I think it is.
How much did it cost you?
Like $300.
Really?
Yeah.
I was looking at one yesterday for $450.
Oh.
I don't know what number it was.
So I've been waiting for these plates. HK Parts came out and said they're manufacturing these stupid adapter plates and they're going to be out middle of February.
Right.
Guess what's not available?
Okay. What is it? What's the day?
They're still
March.
So I found some aluminum ones and I wanted to steal ones. But I went ahead and bought an aluminum one on eBay and it should be here next week. And everyone assures me, especially James has assured me that it will be fine. It's not going to rip the freaking threads out. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to finally get my red dot mounted. I'm pretty freaking excited about it.
Okay.
So I'm stoked.
I didn't know anybody did eBay. I mean, they still do eBay?
Yeah, there's eBay. That's
I
the only
stopped
thing.
eBay when you would order stuff and it would show up and it was not what you ordered.
Oh, God, I've never ordered from eBay before. Don't tell me that.
Okay.
What am I going to get?
I don't know. It's
What-
probably not like that anymore.
What, like a diaper
That was a long
genie?
time ago.
And I could get a diaper
No,
genie?
they'd have all kind of stuff and they'd show up as miniature.
That'd be like Wish.
Come on, man. What am I doing with that?
Oh, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay.
So come out. You can check
Hopefully
out
it works.
the freaking red dot.
Yeah. Well, you got the red dot, right?
I got 2 of them. They're just sitting in there doing nothing. I got bored because I had no adapter place to buy, so I just kept buying red dots.
Why don't Holosun make a plate?
What? Why does it hold? See, the HK has to make them. Because you mount them to the actual firearm, and then you mount the red dots to the plates.
Okay, now Holosun is manufactured where?
I don't know.
Is it an American company?
I don't know.
I mean, shouldn't all these guys get together?
If James is listening, he knows.
I think he's gone.
I think he is too.
Okay.
Maybe China.
Well, I'm saying, why can't they get uniform on this? I mean, you get a threaded barrel, you got a United States threaded barrel, and you got a UK threaded barrel.
Right.
You got a European, well, not UK, you got a European and an American. But they're uniform.
Right.
Hello, shouldn't we have, a standard here? I don't know why they have so many plates.
well, I should.
Does everybody have to be a special snowflake, a special flower?
Well,
We're going to make ours a little bit different.
I should buy a firearm that's optic ready, and it should come with every plate I freaking need in it.
It should.
Damn HK. Too bad I wasn't so in love with them.
Yeah.
They make a nice firearm. They really do.
Well, it's not bad.
It's better than the Canic.
We just sold a man on a Canic today.
Yeah, you did.
And now he shot your VP9. Did he buy a VP9?
No.
There we go. He shot it.
The Canic is a little less money.
Got to have it.
The Canic is a little less money.
No, how much is your VP9?
The one I just bought,
Yeah.
optic ready, $800.
Okay, well, I think the executive was 7 something.
Well, that's about right.
7,
and
8.
it came with all those fancy things that I was pulling out of the case going, is this an adapter plate?
No, that's the FSX.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't remember. I don't know. I seen a used base model Canic for $400 the other day.
They're going up in price.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily
Damn.
are going up or is we got more gouging taking place, but it's like,
Damn turkey.
that was $250 brand new just a little while ago.
Damn turkey.
No, good gun. Actually, they got another gun out of Turkey coming out now that's it's fine, but it's
They're
not
like
the-
imposters. I think James sent me something that was like a clone,
China?
like a clone,
like
or
a
something.
Rolex from China.
Yeah, something like that. But I had an odd phone call. Well, it was a good phone call.
Okay.
Some realtor, real estate lady, called me from California yesterday.
Oh man,
She has some
I'm telling you, we losing Idaho.
she has some people that she sold their house in California and actually helped them buy a house here in Idaho.
Right.
And she wanted to give them like a thank you gift. She called me up and bought a gift certificate
Okay.
to Patriot Defense. They can use it for a class. The husband can come use it for shooting, their range time, whatever he wants. That was a pretty good gift.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a nice gift. And I had to explain to her, because she's from California, right? I mean, well, I think the husband likes to shoot or something. And I was wondering, and I'm like, oh, no, that's a good gift. This is a good gift. I had to sell her on. This is a good gift. This is Idaho. We like our Second Amendment. We like our guns. We like our firearms. We like our shooting.
Unless he shows up out here with a $10,000 double barrel shotgun. It's like, hey, bro, that's not the same kind of shooting.
It's right, a little different. So, no, I was kind of excited about that.
No, that's good. That don't make me feel so bad about them. I mean, they got this whole Cal Exit thing going where they were pushing everybody to Idaho. It's got me worried about Idaho.
It's Ada County's done.
Yeah.
Ada
And
County's toast.
they're going to run the whole state, though. That's why it's even more important to start pushing your city, pushing your county.
Let me talk about this too again. So we have up in Haley and Sun Valley, Haley, Ketchum, Sun Valley area, Bellevue area up there, right? So Lincoln County shot down. Did I send you that article? Lincoln County shot down their Second Amendment sanctuary proposal. They shot it down. They wouldn't even make a statement on it. Their attorney said there's no need to. They wouldn't even make a statement on it. So here's the thing. I think the people...
That is not only bad, that is stupid politically.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, read your crowd, read your room.
Yep.
All right, at least be like the Washington Republicans, where they'll tell you they're going to do all kind of stuff and then stab you in the back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that up in Haley, up in Sun Valley, up in that mecca, so that's kind of like getting close to being like Ada County, just with the caliber of people that are moving up there and stuff like that. I think, there's a couple nice gun ranges up there. Why aren't those people standing behind making a sanctuary city? Why aren't they going to the city council? Why aren't they trying to rally the troops? It may be a waste of time, but you do it anyway.
I'm surprised they even have a range up there.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to back off
We in trouble, man. I tell you what I've been looking at.
What?
North Dakota.
North Dakota? You still thinking?
It's so cold. Nobody's coming out there to stir up. Not even people in Idaho said, don't go.
You better
Don't
buy
go to North Dakota.
that. You better buy that good firearm lube. not that shit that's been on the firearms in my class. It turns them into single shots like freaking quick.
It's cold up there.
Yeah,
But nobody's going up there. Ain't nobody coming out there.
no.
China don't even want to invade North Dakota. They're like, nah.
What's the real estate prices like up there?
Cheap.
Could we go together and buy something big?
I can go alone and buy something pretty big.
No,
man.
no.
It's cheap.
We go together and we buy big acreage. You live on one side, I live on the other.
I'm telling you, it's cheap.
We need to talk.
I need to drive out there.
We
but
need
you
to
can-
talk.
Yeah.
So we got quite the list after the podcast. We got to talk about North Dakota. We got to talk about your DB9.
I've been away too long, man.
I know. So I tell you what, I got one more audio clip that we'll play. We'll chat about it for a minute, and then we'll wrap things up.
Okay. Are we at a wrap moment? Look at us, man. We've been talking a long
We've been
time.
talking. I missed you, man.
Good grief.
We didn't even call as much.
No, we didn't. But I'm telling you, it was.
Yeah, no,
it was
I get
some
it.
Ugly times.
So right now we're going to play a clip from Newsmax. And they are talking to Tim Schmidt from the USCCA, and he's talking about his organization, and they're talking about something that they are going to try to put first and foremost, and they're going to try to push. They're trying to kind of get into the whole legislative type thing that the NRA has dropped the ball on. Okay, so you got a couple different groups really looking at something like this. So right now you got the USCCA that is trying to move forward and kind of fill a void, and you got the places like the Gun Owners of America, and there's a few others I don't recall their exact names off the top of my head, but they're trying to take the place of what I believe what the NRA used to be and wants to be again, but will never be again. So I'll play this clip. Well, let's check it out.
And welcome back to America Right Now. As we have come to expect from Democratic presidents, Joe Biden has indicated that he will push for more gun control measures. It's a big concern for the 100 million gun owners in this country and all proponents of the Constitution and the Second Amendment. Let's dig deeper with our next guest. Tim Schmidt is the president and founder of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, better known as the USCCA. Tim, thank you very much for being with us here on America Right Now. This past year, we've seen record numbers of Americans purchase firearms, more than 5 million first-time gun owners joining those more than 100 million Americans who already own firearms. January this year, we saw the largest spike in gun sales for that month in history. Why are people buying firearms, Tim?
You know, Tom, I'll tell you, I feel that in 2020, so many Americans had what I would like to call an awakening, a self-defense awakening. They've come to the realization that it's their job to be their family's first line of defense. And you talk about these 5 million brand new gun owners to add to the 100 million current, which is a lot of people. But so many of these 5 million new gun owners are people who've never really touched a gun before. And I may surprise you when I say this, but that kind of makes me nervous. And it gets to the heart of what we do at the USCCA, which is we educate and train responsible gun owners so they know exactly what to do when they're in that unfortunate situation of having to defend their families.
Yeah. You know, Tim, Democrats always couch these new gun laws as being about gun safety. That's the buzzword they love to use. It's safety. We have to protect people. It's safety. Now, you're all about safety at the USCCA. So what are they really hoping to achieve here?
Well, that's exactly right. We are about safety at the USCCA, but what the far left Democrats, they come out with these same tired gun control schemes that really do nothing to stop crime. So they say it's about safety. It does nothing to stop crime because, as we know, criminals don't follow any laws, especially gun laws. And what these Democrat gun control schemes do is they make it harder for good American gun-owning citizens to protect their family, to protect their loved ones, because, hey, this is not about hunting. This is not about target shooting. This is about protecting your family. And our members, I'm speaking for the 560,000 USCCA members, they're sick and tired of these same gun control schemes coming down the pipe that just do nothing.
Well, and they're being demonized. Your members and the gun owners, the legal gun owners in this country, are being demonized by that far left. And the far left, at least to me, I think you'd probably agree, they are really driving the agenda of the Democrat Party. And they're talking about limits on capacity of magazines, assault rifle bans, red flag laws. All this stuff is on the table. What do you think is the biggest threat to the right, and it is a right, to bear arms?
Yeah, see, and I believe it's a right. It's actually a God-given, inalienable right. It's a natural-born right that can't be taken away from free people, and that's what the far left doesn't understand. Or maybe they understand it, but they don't want to believe it. And so the danger is us giving up this natural-born right, because then we're not free anymore, and we can't defend our families, we can't defend our loved ones. And the Democrats talk about common sense gun laws. Well, I'll tell you what, there is a common sense gun law out there. It's the National Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, and the USCCA is getting 100% behind this, because now more than ever, Americans are traveling all across the country in their cars because it's such a pain to travel on airplanes, and you shouldn't have to wonder if you're going to go to jail when you're going to visit grandma just by crossing the state line.
Yeah, that's a big issue that a lot of people don't really think about, that if you carry a gun across state lines and they don't have reciprocity, you could get arrested. You could end up going to jail. And I know that you're pushing that. You also wrote a letter to President Biden criticizing his recent call for more gun control laws. Biden recently used the anniversary of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas high school shooting in Florida to call for universal background checks, for instance. One of the things that you made clear in the letter, which was really very well done, was that, in fact, the shooter, Nicholas Cruz, had passed a background check and legally purchased a firearm. So what the president is calling for in terms of these background checks, again, under the cover of, well, it's about safety, it really wouldn't have stopped that shooting. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, Tom, that's exactly correct. I wrote that letter to President Biden, not thinking that he would respond at all, of course, but rather it's my responsibility, being a leader of the second largest gun rights and self-defense organization in the country, to let him know what real Americans think. And the bottom line is that just like what you said, all of the laws that Biden is proposing right now would not have stopped that shooter. As I said before, the bad guys, they don't follow laws. If they're going to do something bad, they're going to do something bad. And so what we need to empower good Americans who are responsible gun owners. We empower them to be able to defend against these bad guys. I mean, so many people fall into the trap thinking that the police are their line of protection. Guess what? Police are not your personal bodyguards. Don't get me wrong. I love our police force. They had a hard enough job before last year. Now it's even more difficult. The person who needs to be the first line of defense is you. It's your job to be your family's first line of defense, and that's what we do at the USCCA. We empower people to avoid danger, stop crimes, and keep their families safe.
All right. Now, you've got over 500,000 members all across the country. Are you going to be mobilizing them and getting them engaged as this debate in Congress starts to heat up?
Tom, that is exactly the plan. Our members are some of the most well-trained, some of the most patriotic Americans, and we have over 3 million folks that get our newsletters, and we're going to mobilizing them and help them to explain to their congressmen and their senators how important it is for them to be able to have as few hurdles as possible when their only goal, their only purpose is to defend their families and defend their loved ones. So yes, we will be 100% on top of this because it's so important to pass this National Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act.
And also prevent the erosion of other rights and the demonization of your members and legal gun owners all across the country. Tim Schmidt of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for standing firm for Americans' gun rights.
So there you go, Tim Schmidt with the USCCA talking about. I guess I could have probably shortened that clip just a little bit, but it's good because what I wanted was at the tail end, and he was talking about the national reciprocity bill, which they've been trying to do now for a dozen years now. I mean, it's there. Nothing ever happens with it. I kind of like the idea of it, but personally, I'll jump in there and say, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I don't think so, and I like the idea of it. I'd like to. The theory behind it is I can carry anywhere in the United States, just like I can drive a car anywhere. That's my God-given right, and you can't do anything. Get out of the way. Blah blah blah. Unless people hadn't noticed, laws don't. Nobody cares about laws anymore. Nobody. I mean, they're doing what the hell they please.
Oh yeah.
You get a national reciprocity. Go to New York and see what happens to you. Go to New Jersey.
They can get you for something.
They're gonna find something. You got the wrong type of ammo or something, and they're gonna throw you away for 20 years. I'd rather them be up front and say we hate you, and I'll tell them right back I hate you too, and I ain't coming.
Yeah.
So, and don't you show up at my house, I won't show up at yours. We got a deal.
Exactly.
So
I'm gonna jump on here and say hello to 420 Cop Watch.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. I do appreciate it. Now, back to this national reciprocity. I mean, I like the idea of it. I don't think it's going to pass. I don't think they're going to get it through. Kind of like you. And then again, do we want that? I mean, do we want it? Do we want states' rights? States can choose to do what they want to, and if they want to, if Idaho wants to recognize Utah and allow that, that's between the states. I don't know if I
feel bad for the people who live in those communist states because they don't have rights. But at the same time, okay, if we're going to do a national reciprocity, are we going to pick the most stringent state for the guidelines all across the country? I don't want no part of that. Right. How's that going to work out? How does that actually become real? I'm sorry for you.
I don't want the federal government. I don't like them telling me what I can and can't do anyhow.
No.
And where are they going to come up? I don't know. It's a right, man. It's a right. I mean, granted, in Idaho right now, we have constitutional carry or permitless carry. We can conceal carry without a permit in this state, and we let anyone from any other state come in without a permit. They can legally carry here without a permit. We don't care if you're a resident or what. It doesn't matter. As long as you can legally have that firearm, you're good to carry in the state. Now, we also offer the Idaho Enhanced Concealed Carry Permit, which gets you recognized in more states, and I think that's good as well. I think it's good in the fact that you're taking some classes, learning the law portion of it. But I really, even being an instructor, right? I don't like forced education, forced requirements, forced. Does that make sense?
I understand, and like I said, I got sympathies. If I lived in New York, good grief, I wouldn't have no rights. What we have to accept is this bitter pill that. A lot of the country don't care about your rights, don't care about the Constitution. Most of it don't. Some of it you can still force them to, but they're not following the Constitution. They're not gonna go with any of that. So if you get out there, they're gonna find a different. I mean, we're dealing with a thugocracy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these are thugs, man. These people. Look at the Great Insurrection. They got 300 people. They got. elderly people that they have locked up without bail and refuse to give them bail because they're too dangerous, because they were walking through the Capitol taking selfies. We no longer live under a nation of laws. Hadn't for a long time, but they're making it obvious now. I'm sorry for the people who live in those states, and I understand why you would want this. But since nobody's following the Constitution, I like a state-by-state agreement. I don't have a fear of concealed carrying in Idaho and driving down to Utah and getting in trouble. It's not going to happen.
Well, if we allow that, if they ever were to go there and allow that, what are we going to have to give up?
That's another point.
There's a trade.
And I could get into it deeper, but there's a lot of people that was all about this Article 5. Mark Levin was pushing it for years. Wrote a book about it. We got to do Article 5. We got to do Article 5, where we rewrite the Constitution. And I'm like, you're insane. You're insane, because whatever we get in, they're just not going to follow it. Right. And whatever they get in, they're going to force us to follow it. We're no longer a United States. We're no longer in agreement. And it's just not going to happen. And if it were to get done, I would be horrified at what it would look like. Yeah. For taking away states' rights is the only thing we got left. Yeah. There is no federal government looking out for us.
And you never get anything for free. So you want national reciprocity? Who's to say they couldn't say, you want national reciprocity? We'll give you national reciprocity. The only thing you got to prove to us is that you've taken that vaccine.
Taking that vaccine, you got to have a psychological test. You got to have insurance. You can't have but 3 rounds.
You ask them for something, then they're going to start making way more requirements.
Yeah, we can't live together no more.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Well, what a wonderful way to end.
I have one question about that. That's been bothering me every time I hear that.
Throw it out there.
How the hell do they know who's a first-time buyer?
That's true, and we were discussing that during the deal. So in there, I don't know who said it.
Everybody keeps saying it. They 5 million first-time buyers.
5 million first-time buyers, 7 million first-time buyers.
Never touched a firearm before.
How do they know that? Because they're not supposed to. It doesn't. There's not a question on the form that says you're a first-time buyer. I wonder if it's kind of like. And remember, they don't keep these records.
No, of course not.
It's kind of like they're keeping that when you hit send on that iPad, because it's all on iPads. It's all electronic now. And you hit send or finished on that iPad after you fill out your NICS background check, it's kind of like your name goes somewhere and says, this gentleman has 4 firearms. This gentleman has 6 This is this is not on our list. Interesting how that works.
I mean, is that what's happening, or are they taking polls? Have you ever owned a firearm before? I'm not asking you a question. Get out of my face, man.
Well, I had some people actually get they took a class from me, and and I respect them, right? And they didn't even want to sign my liability waiver. They did, but they were very concerned about who do you turn all this paperwork into? I don't turn this paperwork into anybody. Nobody even knows you were here. I don't keep listing name for people that come take classes from me. I give you the paperwork for the permit. If you want to turn it in, that is up to you. You can turn it in and apply for your permit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't know how they get those names. I have an idea.
Yeah, well, they geolocate you. You walk up here with a cell phone and it pings and says, "Hey,
I'm looking here." Yes.
These people are at Todd's house.
Yeah. Peyton said, Utah just passed constitutional carry. Yep, I saw that. I think I might have mentioned that in the previous podcast. So the states around us, I think Montana might have just passed that as well. So the states around us are jumping on board to constitutional carry.
We got a whole lot of states starting to open up too, 100%. These are signs I like to see. It's more and more pushback. A lot of them were holding out because this whole stimulus is nothing but flooding the states with money.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to give us a few pennies. And these politicians, they want that money.
Chicken Little. Chicken Little.
What a trash bag. So now we're seeing them start to open up. Good. Start to have some pushback. Good. Constitutional carry. Good. I like to see the state starting to move. We're starting. It was just us talking. Now you start. It's almost like a vibe in the country.
You're feeling
and
it.
And they're starting to actually sound off. State legislators have become very powerful and important people. Yeah. When before, who gave a crap? Who did?
Well, you know what?
State rep was.
And you know what they're doing? I mean, this is kind of way off the topic of guns to a certain extent, but guess what they just had today all over Idaho? every county had at least one, if not two of them, or a bunch of them did. They had mask burnings all over the state of Idaho today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they had one in Twin Falls. And he showed up, and they had burning barrels going, and they made a big deal. And you threw your freaking masks in there and set them on fire. And they had this great big banner that said "Unlock Idaho." And
the amount of bacteria was flowing out of that.
yeah. At the Twin Falls one, I saw some pictures. They had a guy dressed up as a chicken. And he was holding up a thing. It was Brad Little. They had it over his face, and they had a couple Glazers up there like kicking him and stuff. Like, oh, this is getting serious.
Yeah, we have a disgusting governor.
But
disgusting.
Well, thanks for taking time to come over and
wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap up.
Right.
I think we're wrapping up.
Turn off his mic.
Click it. Let's go. But thanks for taking time to come out and let my buddy shoot your guns.
Yeah.
And playing on the new learning simulator.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it. The learning simulator, the teaching simulator.
Okay.
And it's good to have you on the podcast again.
Yeah, it's been a while. How long has it been? I didn't do but one podcast of my own in February.
It'd be like, so
it's been at least 2 months.
It's been like 2 months at least.
At least, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Been a while.
It's been a while. I missed you.
Okay. You stop calling me.
I was busy.
You don't send me flowers.
Easy there, Neil Diamond.
All right.
Okay, so thanks for listening to the podcast. I sure appreciate it. Share it, post it on your social media, do all that. That'd be fantastic. I'll post the YouTube live video. I think in the morning it'll be done, and I can go ahead and post that link up too. Share that as well. If you have not liked the our YouTube channel, the Patriot Defense YouTube channel, if you could go or subscribe. I get everything freaking confused. You don't like it, you subscribe to it.
I don't even ever say that.
If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. The more subscribes I get, the more actually I can do, and I can do some live YouTube stuff actually from my phone. Until I hit, I don't know the number, I have to look again. Until I get so many subscribes, I won't let me do YouTube live from my phone.
Okay, why?
I have no idea because it's freaking YouTube. But I'll post that on Facebook, so like that, share it, listen to the podcast. I surely appreciate it. I actually had some people get a hold of me, some listeners get a hold of me, and I am going to use them, have them come on some future shows, just kind of get everything lined up and planned out. That's going to be fantastic. If you want to get on a show, if you got any comments or stories or anything like that, you can get a hold of me. You can call or text area code 620-794-6223. It's area code 620-794-6223. I really appreciate it, and I also appreciate all the comments we got today on the YouTube Live. And I'm going to try to get in here and do this again next week. Are you going to be available, sir?
I have no idea.
I will check with you on Friday.
Okay.
Okay, until then, thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it. Stay safe. Bye.